What's up, gamers? We got another official look at the RG Cube from Anbernic, and I can't wait to go over this footage because this time it's all about the gameplay. And this has really put my mind at ease about this aspect ratio of this very unique 1x1 display, and I think it will you too. So I can't wait to talk about it. But before we get there, if you've enjoyed these videos, I know about over 90% of the people who watch the videos aren't subscribed, so do me a favor, go ahead and hit that subscribe and notification bell. And if you're so inclined, I would love for you to become a channel member. But without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, so this second trailer is 5 minutes and 30 seconds long. That's about 5 minutes longer than the reveal trailer that we got a few days ago. And one of the great things about this is that it shows just how unique this screen size is and what it can accomplish. Let's just start from the beginning here and give a little chat about it. I like this new intro, this Anbernic intro that they've come up with. That's brand new. I've never seen that before. Right off the bat, 3DS. And one of the things I said in the comments section on my last video about this device was that DS was going to look really good here. And so they are really just going after the first several gameplay things that they show are all 3DS games. And you can see there just how good that looks. Of course, this is a 4-inch touchscreen display. It's running Android, and so you're going to be able to actually touch that bottom screen like you were able to on the original DS and 3DS, which is going to be great. But also you still get a good sizable display for that top screen, so you can really see what's going on. I think this looks absolutely fantastic, and you can kind of tell on a lot of these they're running either like 30 frames or 60 frames per second. You can barely tell up there in the corner. It's really small. Like that one's 30. The Super Mario Bros. At the beginning was 60. Some of them are harder to tell than others. I think that one's running at 60. Of course, since this is running Android 13, you're going to get Android games on this device natively, which is really cool. And one of the complaints I kept seeing was that, yeah, but with this 1x1 display, you know, it's not, you can't take advantage of that with most systems. There's really only a couple of systems that can take advantage of that, like Pico 8 and Game Boy. And like PS2 is going to be compromised because there's going to be black bars, blah, blah, blah. Well, we're used to getting, honestly, let's be honest, we're used to getting 3.5-inch displays that are 4x3. That is 3.5 inches right there. You're going to still get a 3.5-inch display in this 4-inch display, so you're not really going backwards. We're gaining more because look at this DS game. Look how great that looks. Look how much bigger that is versus a 3.5-inch 4x3 display, which it's night and day. I mean, this is so much more visible. It just looks fantastic. Animal Crossing, that looks great. I'm not usually a fan of the overlays that they put on these things, but that DS overlay just looks brilliant. I mean, it's so clean, it's so crisp and clear. I love it. It looks great. So I absolutely love my RGB 30 from Powkiddy. I really do. But one of the things that is a compromised experience on there is some of the higher end games like the PSP. It just doesn't run full speed. It just doesn't. It doesn't matter how much tweaking you do. There are a lot of games like that one that don't run full speed. It doesn't do any GameCube or Wii games, but even like Nintendo 64, a lot of those really struggle on the system. And so there is a compromised experience there. And with the T820 in this device, you're not going to have that anymore. That's going to be totally gone. The Nintendo 64, the PSP, those are going to run perfectly fine. And sure, you're not going to get full support for like the Nintendo GameCube and, whoa, hang on a second. Let's pause right here for a second. You're not going to get full support for GameCube and PS2. You're not, but you're going to be able to play a lot of those games and play a lot of them well. And those games were originally, of course, in a 4x3 aspect ratio. And so you're going to have a little bit of black bar, but think about the portability factor and the pocketability factor that you're getting with a device this size versus something like the RG556, which is not pocketable at all, and honestly kind of burdensome to travel with if you're trying to travel light. This is going to be a totally different experience, and so I can't wait for this to come out. I can't wait to see the pricing on this. I'm really hoping for it to hit that 150 price. And I think that because with the 556, Anbernic actually did a survey. They actually asked, what price would you want this to be at? And I think 130 to 150 was one of the options. It was like a multiple choice thing. So I would expect a lot of people to have clicked on that 130 to 150 mark for the 556. I think they're going to see that. They bring us this. I'm thinking 150 is where it's going to come in at. Hopefully I'm right. Maybe I'm wrong. It could still be more than that, but we're not getting an OLED display. It is a smaller device. I think it's possible they could hit that 150 mark. But the other thing is that Pico 8, I didn't think Pico 8 ran on Android. So I'm not sure. They only show that one game, but it's clearly running really well. So if you know how they're running Pico 8 on Android, would you let me know down in the comments? Because I didn't think that was possible. Sega Saturn support. This is going to work great. Of course, you're going to get some lower end systems. And then the other thing with 1x1 is, look at this. Look at this vertical arcade. Look how gorgeous that is. It takes up so much more of that space on a 1x1 display than it does a 4x3 display. It just really gives it room to breathe. You can actually see the bullets and stuff that are flying towards you. This is going to be great for vertical arcade. And then look at, again, the overlays. Now that Game Boy Color game could take up the whole screen, but look how gorgeous that overlay is. I mean, I don't even like those, but it looks so good on here. Another vertical arcade. I mean, look how much more space that is. It's just incredible. And then we get to the end and we find out that this does again support Moonlight, just like the 556. It's interesting that it's in 16:9 on that monitor, but in 1x1 on the console itself, and yet it's showing the same thing, but it doesn't, somehow it doesn't look squished. I don't know. It has to be though. Just a weird observation. And then you're going to get Wi-Fi support for online multiplayer. Another, it's not like that's a crazy new feature or anything. We've had that on a lot of other handhelds, but it is nice to see it here as well. And then USB-C video out support to run 1080p video, and there's God of War 2 running. It looks like full speed on that monitor. Did you see that? It says that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2. Why is that there? They're not playing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2. That's so weird. And then we get a look at the 4 colors. There's actually 4 colors. The first trailer only had 3. It says beige white is one of them, and gray is the other one. I'm assuming the one with the maroon buttons is gray, but I don't know for sure. Maybe the one with the multicolor buttons is gray. I'm really confused about which one is gray and which one is beige white, because neither one of them look gray to me. They both look like an off-white. Let me know what you think about that in the comments as well. But then we get the radiant purple. So this isn't, I wasn't sure what kind of ink this was in the last video I did, and I found out a lot of people are really excited about this pink, which I think is awesome, but it's called radiant purple. And then we've got this additional one that wasn't announced last time, this black, which I think looks really clean, really simple, and probably a lot of people will pick that one up. I honestly, they all look fantastic. I'm not sure which one will be the most popular here, but those are just some of my thoughts about the RG Cube from Anbernic. I want to know your thoughts about it, so let me know what you think about the RG Cube in the comments below. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing, becoming a channel member, whatever it is you can do to help out the channel. It is much appreciated. But until next time, stay kind and encouraging out there, and I'll catch you on the flippity flip.